Wait, let's say our pronouns real quick. I'm a he.
I'm a starfish. You and I are sick.
You walked into a lion's den.
You wouldn't know that it was human meat until they said to you, human carpaccio.
When I think about eating people, not only do I think about how they would taste, but I also like to think about their personality.
Walked into a lion's den.
Just call me my guy and we're good.
Yeah, call me my dude. That's it. You sound like the dumbest robot made.
I am the dumbest robot.
Thank you for listening to Splittin Hairs. On this podcast, you're gonna learn about yourself. I'm Ashlynn Salzano.
My name is Chris Metcalfe.
We're all lizard people anyway. I don't know what's derogatory anymore, you know?
No, I have no clue.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know some stuff. But
It changes all the time, so.
it changes, yeah. Especially
Like something that was okay is no longer okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just like, okay, I guess we changed.
Yeah.
Like I've heard people be like, I don't use dude or guys like to. They think it's a little bit misogynistic to address people like guys,
Right.
Because I asked, I was like, oh, like what's the big deal? Like if it means plural, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, well, it comes from misogyny because men used to only greet men, like if you were at a diner or something like that.
Right.
Like it's my like hi guys is because they didn't, you know.
And it's been ingrained in you to say that. Is like what they would probably.
Oh, they didn't even go that far. They were just like, that's what the word meant. So, like, I
Right.
just find it. They weren't even like, but I don't know. I'm like, okay, but that's not what the word means to me.
Well, I remember being younger and asking the question, like, you know, being in like Catholic school, and like the Bible would refer to humans as like at the dawn of man. When God created man invented the wheel, and man did this. And then, like, I remember even being younger. And like me or somebody else being like, so was there just men back then? And they're like, no, it just means like, it means all people. They're just referring to like man, like humanity, man. So that's just like the way they spoke. And that's just kind of how it was just answered. But now if I'm like being like someone who's going to be like, and that's the problem. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that it isn't, but it's that type of thing has been going on like forever, like referring to like guys, man, like that whole thing.
Only being referred to, yeah.
I don't know. I guess for me it doesn't bother me, but I get it, you know.
Yeah, it's just interesting to hear different perspective, because what doesn't mean something to you means a lot to someone else. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, like and maybe it's because I grew up in New York, so it's like we hear like a fuck you in New York would be like, I miss you, you're hilarious, damn, you made me laugh too hard. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck you has so many different meanings in New York. It's like, I miss you, hello, what's up, what's good? Yo, good one, that was a good laugh. Like, it means so many things. So it's like, maybe I'm just desensitized to like what words are or mean. You know what I mean?
I'm 100% in that camp with you. I've had people, like friends who aren't from New York, when they've told me something crazy or something that I thought was like a wild story, I'd be like, oh, fuck off. No way. And they'd be like, no, really, it happened. I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing.
Fuck off is an expression.
Yeah.
Like it's not like literal. It's just like it has so many different meanings. You have to look at the context for fuck you or fuck off or fuck.
Yeah.
'Cause you could be like fuck and hurt yourself. You can be like fuck and be coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's no. It's all in context with fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you've even done stuff where like you've roasted me really well, like done like a good roast, and I'll be like, fuck you, like fuck you, like that was good. Yeah.
It's for every New York of us, or like I don't know, Northeastern. I don't know. Because I know a lot of I can't even say that because I know a lot of people in Massachusetts that don't like to curse.
Well, I feel like you're always going to get those people who are the Puritans, the puritanical language people.
Yeah, because they curse a lot in Boston, right?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's all we do is curse.
Even at the like
a lot of homophobia too.
Even in the Prudential building, right?
Even in the mall near the Prudential building.
They curse there.
Yeah. That place is a curse, I tell you what.
I know we were talking about like man and woman and all that stuff, and what was funny was you just did something that was so chivalrous upstairs because we're at your house.
Yeah.
We're at LBI right now. Chris has to do some things for mommy's boy. Mommy's good boy has to do some things around the house. And so we gave you a ride. Kate and I were here just chilling and working and filming, but I had to use the bathroom upstairs. and you have 2 bathrooms, and I was like, oh, I have to pee, and you were like, okay, I'll go downstairs. And why it was so nice was because you were already in the bathroom. like it's one thing if we're like at the table and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go pee, and then I'm like, oh, I have to pee, and you're like, okay, I'll go downstairs. But you were like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and I was like, oh, I have to pee, and you were like turned around. Like, I don't know too many people that would do that. And honestly, in my head, my excuse was gonna be like, I'm a woman, I have to pee. I'm such a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah, I mean, the whole like chivalry thing is so weird to me because like, while I do think like, yeah, equality and stuff, but also on the other hand, I'm like, why not just be nice? You know, like, why not just be nice? Like, I think the trade-off really is just like, guys don't have to get periods and women's do, so we should just do the chivalry stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you always hear the argument where someone's like, hey, chivalry's dead when you want equal pay. Like when they say that type of shit, you know what I mean? You want to be equal? You don't get the door held open for you no more, and you're buying me fucking dinner, bitch.
You want to be equal?
Let's go.
Now I can be mean to you. Okay?
Yeah. Exactly.
Now I can be mean to you.
Right. So, but I think that is really like the trade-off. You know what I mean?
But also, like, I've also gotten like people are like, you're very chivalrous. Like, I'm very chivalrous, right? Mm-hmm. And like, or I remember someone was like, you have like gentleman-like qualities.
At least they're not calling you handsome. That's weird. Would you ever hear?
I'd rather that than you have gentleman-like qualities.
Really?
But no, I'm fucking around with you. But like, it's like, yeah, I hold the door for everyone. Like, if I'm first, you hold the door for everyone. Like, there's just certain things like that you do that is not chivalrous, but for some reason it is.
Well, because people are fucking trash right now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that, like, even stepping outside of quote unquote chivalry, just being a decent neighbor to someone, maybe doing something that's like a little out of your way to be nice to someone, being courteous, is like maybe a different way to put it. I feel like that's like lost a little bit. Yeah. Now, you know.
I guess it started, and if I like go back and think about it, I guess it started with like my mom like making me help like my neighbor like Miss O'Lancy up.
Right.
With like groceries, because she was like this Irish lady that lived like right diagonal to us, and my mom would be like, help Miss O'Lanson up with her groceries.
Yeah.
And I would do it, and then like they would tip you like $2 or $1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever. It was candy on them. But I think it started then. I think that's why I'm like chivalrous. It's just like, oh, I just do things like for instance, like one time this old lady was running for the bus, and I don't know her. I don't know her from dick, all right? I don't know her. The bus is about to leave, and I see her. She's older, and she's like running. So I like go to the bus driver. I'm like, yo, wait. And I think he thought it was me. And then I like make him wait for this old lady to cross. I'm making everybody wait. And then the old lady comes. She's like, oh my God, thank you so much. I'm like, yeah, of course. And then like she goes up. But to me, I'm like, that's not sure. That's just like, yo, like this old lady was struggling. Like she just needed some help. Right. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like, I don't know. She was struggling. If someone's struggling, why not help?
Right.
Be chivalrous.
You are making me laugh every time you're saying chivalrous because you're saying chivalrous, and I keep wanting to be like, why are you so cold?
Chivalrous?
I'm chivalrous.
Oh. Cold.
I am chivalrous.
I just, when I'm cold, I help out old ladies. What's the problem? It was cold. They gave me chills. I was so kind. They gave me chills. I was chivalrous.
Have you ever tried to help someone? Like I had tried to help an old lady at a grocery store, and she was like, this was in New York City, and she was like, I didn't ask for your help. And I was like, okay. All right.
I bet you that's a real New York old lady.
Oh, yeah. She's like one of those old ladies who's been like living in New York too long.
She was smoking a cigarette in the grocery store.
But you might as well have fucking been.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
Those are a special kind in New York. You don't find those nowhere. That's happened to me before.
Yeah.
Yeah. You try to help out like an older lady. I don't need your help. You know what that's happened to me? In the train, offering my seat.
Okay.
Like if I offer my seat to someone who's older, they're like, I'm not that old. I'm like, How can that be an insult? Like, I'm giving you my seat, man.
I should just be like, perfect, because I got a bad knee.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a seat.
Well, like, okay, like, it's just respect. But they get mad at that sometimes, too.
I had the other day in my building, this fucking mom was like, she had the kid in the carriage, and she was trying to get the kid up the stairs in the carriage. I mean, this was like shaken baby syndrome. It's like, I don't know why she didn't turn around and do the backup, pulling up the stairs. She's like ramming this carriage, and like, it's like
the baby's in the carriage?
In the fucking carriage, and the kid's just like...
And she's doing it upwards.
Upwards. Yeah. And, like, you could just tell she was having a fucking day.
Yeah.
And I went to be like, do you want me to pick up the front?
Yeah.
And, not give your kid mental, damage, brain damage.
And help a concussion from from happening right now. Yeah.
And help him up, up these few stairs. And she's like, no. I'm like, all right. Okay.
No. What makes you think I need help?
What's wrong?
Yeah. Yeah, my baby's neck moves like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're used to that.
It was.
You just want to tell people, especially like when you're trying to help someone and they do that to you, you just want to tell them, like, go fuck yourself.
Well, right. And exactly right. Because you're just like, why did I even try to be nice?
Yeah.
Why am I even trying? Fuck this. Fuck all of you. I'm not being nice.
Yeah, New York beats you like that.
I'm just gonna mind my fucking business.
New York beats you like that, where you're like, wow, I was just trying to be fucking nice.
Yeah.
And you go from being nice to psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah, real quick.
I had a homeless guy. He caught me in a weird moment, asked me for money, and I was feeling real good, so I gave him a 20, and he hugged me. I wanted to crawl out of my skin and fucking die. It was disgusting. And he had that, like, sweet smell to him.
What if he did that on purpose? He was like, oh, you think you're such a fucking cool guy because you're giving me a 20. He's like, here's this hug. What if he did that on purpose? This whole time, homeless people didn't even need to be fighting us. All they needed to be doing is giving us hugs, and we just, like, give them money.
Just go. Get away. Don't touch me.
Yeah. No hugs. Here's 100. No hugs, please. I mean, anybody, though, it's not even about homeless. Anybody that stinks, too, though, I'm like, get away from me. I don't like when your armpits don't have deodorant. Like, what's going on? Like, why do you smell like that?
Right.
Like, why do you smell like you haven't showered? Why do you smell musty? Like,
yeah.
It doesn't even have to be homeless. If you stink,
just
I'm
in
like,
general,
yo,
right. Yeah.
Yo, stinky people could be making some money.
Some people are into that shit.
Listening to us.
Yeah, some people are into that shit. But also on the opposite, it is weird. Like, do you know that? Like, do you ever meet someone like out and it's just like a Pepe Le Pew? It's like you can see the perfume trail behind them.
Yeah.
Where you're like, why do you have to smell this much? Like,
wait, you're talking about
like a girl who's got a shitload of perfume on,
or men
who's got a shitload of cologne on,
who's got Old Spice and Axe on. And
yeah,
you're like, no,
and you're just like, I can smell you in the room. You're across the room and I smell you.
Like, stop wearing that, all right? Stop believing the commercials remember the Axe commercials when they were like, you spray and then the girls would go running. A stampede of girls.
Yeah.
Like, ah! Made every boy in fucking high school smell like fucking dirty socks. Like,
they smelled like they looked like they were on the set of Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. Without the money.
Right. Yeah, and no money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking.
But yeah, like you're talking about people who overload.
Yes.
That makes me want to vomit.
Yeah.
Like an overload of like, or you ever smell someone, like females do this a lot where they have like a bunch of lotion on, then on top of that they have perfume, and then like their makeup is kind of scented, I think, and then their shampoo, and then they have like something lathered in their hair, and you're like,
it's like an everlasting gobstopper. It's like, when do the flavors end?
It's like a fucking stinky like mystery airhead. Yeah. You know the white mystery airhead that you're like, oh, what is this gonna be?
Right.
That's what that's like.
They are an airhead, literally,
and it's just fucking stinky.
Yeah.
It's like if Bath and Body Works had a wallflower called the Airhead.
Yeah.
Mystery Airhead.
Yeah.
That's what it would be. The fucking stench of people that do that.
Yeah, and like, you'll see it on like profiles and stuff. Like sometimes like a woman be like, I love a man who like smells good and like all this shit. It's like, how about just like a guy? How about just someone who just doesn't admit like a body odor? Like, how about just not smelling?
Because think about writing that. I'm just looking for a man that doesn't smell like shit.
Right.
I'm just looking for a man who washes his dicks and balls.
But to say,
dicks and balls.
Dicks and balls.
Dicks and balls.
But to say that you
however that works.
Yeah. You think they'd be side to side or on top of each other?
Side to side.
Side to side.
And then the balls would be underneath.
Right, as normal.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, is that how it works?
Well, I didn't know if you maybe thought they'd each have like their own now because it's got a new anatomy.
Maybe.
Right? Like
maybe
each dick's got a ball.
Yeah.
Each dick's got a ball. So
or I was saying like maybe each dick has 2 balls.
Wow, that's 4
4
balls.
balls.
That's a lot of balls.
Yeah.
Man, I knew this kid, Eric. Sorry, dude, I'm going to call you out. This kid in high school had 1 nut, but he had the biggest nut sack I'd ever seen in my life. This thing was like a garbage bag with an orange in it. Like a big one. Like a 28-gallon. Like, it was crazy. And he'd pull it out all the time. Like, because it's all guys' school, so that shit happens. It was crazy.
Oh, my God.
It was crazy. And he wasn't even that big of a kid.
Where would we be without men? Like, where would we be without that sense of humor?
I don't know.
It's like, and he pulled it out every time because it was a boys' school.
Right. He had to.
Why is it, though, that people who have, like, something strange about them always wants to show it off?
Because it's, like, the only thing you got, It's, like, the only thing to really make you stand out,
Yeah.
Like, Eric was like a funny kid. He was like a funny kid. He was nice. People liked him. But like without the giant nutsack, without that giant scrotum and knowing that there was only 1 nut inside of it, he's nothing.
Yeah.
He's got nothing else.
He's got nothing going for him.
You know what I mean?
Well, me and my brothers knew this guy who was my dad's friend who had to get surgery. He had to get 1 ball out. And we used to call him Uno. But, like, why do we know that information? You know what I mean?
Well,
like, like I feel like when people have like a strange thing, they like to tell people about it. Like you get what I'm trying to say? Like, why? Like, you don't talk about your regular nuts as much, right? Even if
because they're regular,
right?
Right.
But why? Because you have 1 nut. Like now, all of a sudden, you're like, yeah, I got 1 nut, man.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if it also depends on the thing too, because I knew another kid in high school who had 1 eye, and he didn't like when you brought it up.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And that was pretty unique to him. He got mad at me once because I was just trying to level with him one time. So here's the thing: this kid played lacrosse.
Get ready to be offended.
And only if he got 1 eye. This kid, he had 1 eye, but he would it was like a glass eye, like he put in the socket. So it was just like, it just looked like a doll eye that didn't move and it didn't blink, right? So, like, and he played lacrosse, which was crazy because, like, he couldn't
move and it didn't blink.
Yeah, so it's like just
Yeah.
like it's just like the one is just always like imagine like I'm just like sleeping and it's just
like there's just always one on you.
Yeah.
Even when you're talking to him.
Even when you're talking to him, right? So the thing is like so he played lacrosse. He was on the lacrosse team and he couldn't run straight. He'd always like run like on a slight angle.
Yeah.
And sometimes they'd be like, Clayton, like he's like a fucking airplane that they're like over, right? And he had this huge blind spot. Like sometimes they'd pass it to him, and he just got hit in the head because he couldn't see the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Which, whatever, you want to play, go for it. But also, it's like, dude, you only got 1. If you lose the other one, you're blind. You know, if I lose an eye playing lacrosse, I still got 1 eye. Right. But anyway. This one time he fucking.
But what does he care? He's lost 1 eye. He's ready to lose a second one.
Yeah, let's go for broke. Yeah, let's double down, baby. Yeah.
Those people are strong.
Yeah.
Those people are mentally strong.
That's wild. Yeah. He's fucking loaded now, by the way. Yeah.
Of course he is.
Yeah, he like started some company. Yeah, he's killing it.
I mean, you always see like CEOs, executives like in cartoons. They're always like the evil ones. They have like the 1 eye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yo,
those people are strong. They got to go through bullying. Every single situation they're putting themselves in, they're going to hear something.
Well, he wasn't strong this one time because this one time he was playing, this fucking defenseman on this team fucking laid him the fuck out. Double-fisted, took him down, and he got the wind knocked out of him, and I'll never forget I stood over him because you just, when you get the wind knocked out of you and you're doing the thing where you're like, but it's Clayton, so he's like, and we were all like, what the fuck? But this one time he got mad at me because I was like, I was just like walking and we were like bullshitting after practice once, and I was like, hey man, like do you ever like hide stuff like behind your glass eye, like a bag of weed or something like that? And he was like, no, I don't do that. And I was like, all right, Jesus Christ, dude, I'm just fucking asking. Like, I wasn't even trying to bust his balls. I was just trying to be like, you know, dude, we all know you got something on your face. Let's not talk about it like it's not there.
But why would you ask him that question?
Because it was bothering me. I had to know.
Yeah, but it's like no one uses the back of their eye like a pocket. You haven't heard of...
I've seen people do it.
No, you haven't. Like where? At some weird sex show you've been to?
No, this dude had an eye patch and he pulled a bag of Coke out of it once.
Okay. Okay, I can see that.
And he didn't have an eye.
Not an eyeball. That's what I'm saying. You don't be seeing people popping out their glass eye and then being like, oh, I have a fucking...
okay. It's like a salt shaker.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a cool fucking trick. Your fucking glass eyes with salt and pepper shaker. Yeah.
So I think it was kind of rude of you to ask him that. Okay?
Listen, of all the things that happened to everybody at that fucking school, me just trying to talk straight with him, like asking him like a what I would consider a reasonable question.
Oh, do you ever use your one disability that you fucking hate
to an advantage?
Yeah.
Why not?
To smuggle things. Not as an advantage, to smuggle things. You weren't like, do you ever put your car keys in there? You're like, do you ever put a bag of weed
like
in there?
Hide shit in there, yeah. Listen, I could have said way worse things to him because he wouldn't clean it all the time, and so there'd be like goop in it. You know, I could have been like, hey, clean your eye, dude.
Yeah, but that's not cool either.
Right, but I didn't do that. Other people did that. The school was ruthless.
Doesn't make you better. You're like trying to tell me you're like Ashlynn, but I was like the nicest of evil. I'm like, it's still evil. It's still evil. You're trying to be like, but there were worse things happening. And
I didn't look at it as being evil. I looked at it as being like,
I don't think it's evil, but you're saying like a lot of shit happened there. You're like a lot of jackasses were there, and I'm like, it still makes you a jackass.
Okay, fine.
Still makes you a jackass.
Fine, I'll take it.
You're not less of a jackass.
Fine. I'll deal with that one. I'll take that.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
But before you were saying evil. Like,
okay, yeah. I mean evil.
Like I'm not trying to make him feel bad.
No, I don't think it was evil. I was just using that as an example because you were like, a lot of dark shit happened there.
Yeah. It was mostly just degenerate shit.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like not a thing that we see anymore. Like earlier I was singing like the Bartman. You remember that song like Do the Bartman from like The Simpsons? Mm-hmm. I feel like that's like a trope that we don't see anymore. Like the mischievous kid character. Like there was like Urkel and like Dennis the Menace and like Bart.
Wait, I was gonna say like we a guy with the glass eye. Like there was this one girl in our school who had
yes
scoliosis.
Okay.
And like after like she got the surgery, that they to fix scoliosis they put like nails in your shit. Like they put like they drill shit to your spine.
Take you down to the Home Depot and do you up.
Yeah, by the Mexicans in Home Depot. So that they put like nails and shit like that, screws in your back. And we had metal detectors in our school, and you couldn't. No, it's not what you think. It's not like she was walking through that shit. She was like, beep, beep, No, but we couldn't bring in cell phones into high school.
Okay.
So they would know that you brought a cell phone into high. We also couldn't bring iPods into school. That's so fucking stupid, especially since we had to take the train.
Right.
Like I get the phones, like all right, I can't communicate, but I have my iPod. Like, what's the problem?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, you could shave it into a knife.
Yeah, that's gonna take a lot of periods, though. I'm gonna have to be there for a long time. Yeah, that's a weird one. The
iPod.
Yeah,
that's weird.
But so we couldn't bring things in. So then all her friends, because she had the screws, all her friends started giving her like money to bring in their phones.
Oh, because she was gonna get lit up anyway going through.
Yeah,
the thing.
So she never went through the thing. So they just let her walk through, and they like patted her down.
That's great. That's great. That made me think this one time when my sister was really little, I like took her we were like going out or whatever, and we stopped at like a Wendy's or something, and we were inside the Wendy's, and she had like a little toy from the Wendy's like the kids meal, and she got
they're not doing that anymore.
What, the kids?
They're getting
meals?
rid of toys and kids meals, or they're not making them plastic anymore.
Oh, because they don't have the stuff to make it anymore.
Or they want to be like climate friendly or something like that. They're gonna change. Well, you want to change the climate, and what you're gonna change is plastic toys
By
from
not doing
Happy
the plastic
Meals.
toys, yeah, because you know they're doing something else that's even worse than the plastic toys. They're like, yeah, we'll give you that one. It's not cost efficient for us anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. She had this fucking car, and she was like, we were like going to leave, and this like big woman, had this huge like plastic body brace on because she must have had like back problems or scoliosis. And Erin had this car, and the kids like running the car like along stuff. She runs it and does like a side like across her fucking back. I started dying, and me and my little sister turned into like Bonnie and Clyde. I was like, we gotta get out of here. We gotta go.
How funny is that? That was probably one of those moments where you're like, God, she's related to me.
Yeah.
Because you're so misbehaved like that, like, and not like it was on purpose, but you're so like that you would do something dumb like that.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And you're like, man, are we related?
The best was the sound too, because it was like a little monster truck, so it had like the treaded wheels over the plastic. It was like, brrr, you just hear it, like a zipper.
Did the lady turn around?
Yeah.
Was she pissed?
She was pretty pissed. Yeah. We didn't stick around to like say sorry.
I would be pissed too, though.
Oh yeah.
You know, but I would like, and then in hindsight, I probably would laugh, but I would be like, "Yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, you're kind of roasting me."
I'm not a surface.
You're like low key roasting me. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Damn, that would hurt my feelings. So I'd be pissed. But that's so cool because I know you were like, we're related.
Yeah.
Those are
Oh,
one of those moments.
100%.
Like my cousin Kathy, who I talk about, who has Asperger's or autism. I'm not sure because there's a difference, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I always used to tell her and her sister when they were younger, like, mind your business. You live longer. Mind your business. Because kids. I'm like 16. They're like 7. You know what I mean? So they're in the stage of like gossiping and like I don't know, just being like cute little nosy girls.
Yeah.
And I'm older, and I used to be like, mind your business. You live longer. And I would tell them the story. I was like, I ever told you about our great grandmother? And they'd be like, no, like, does? And I'd be like, she was a old lady, and she lived in the most dangerous block in New York. And she would do her groceries, and she would just, and nobody wanted to do groceries, and she would do groceries, walk by her block, and bring the groceries up, and she would be just safe. And she lived to be 107. And they'd be like, wow, for real? And I was like, yeah, you want to know how? They were like, how? I was like, by minding her motherfucking business.
And that is the ghetto fairy tale.
Yeah. And then, so I always used to tell them that story. And so one time, I was taking Kathy somewhere. Now, remember, she has Asperger's and autism. I'm taking Kathy somewhere, and I buy her an ice cream. It was like summertime. And I call a cab, too. So the cab driver, before Kathy gets in, he goes, she can't come in with that. She can't come in eating ice cream. I said, it was a nice Cadillac too. Like, and he's not in the wrong. You know what I mean? I got it, but she's a kid. So I'm like, all right, Kathy, we're just going to have to put this a little away for a little bit, okay? Because we have to, because we're in the cab. And she was like, oh, I don't understand why he won't just let me eat my ice cream. It's none of his business. And then she turns to me and she goes, why don't you tell him the story about your great grandmother?
Yo, that is great. That's fucking great.
And I was like, that's just one of my proudest moments of her. And I was like embarrassed. He doesn't know, but I'm like, Kathy, chill, like, don't wall out. But those were one of those moments where I was like, yo, you're definitely part of the family. You fucking crazy as fuck. She like turns to me like mafia style and just like,
tell this guy.
Yeah. Why don't you tell him the story about your great grandmother?
Tell him what happens to people who don't, mind the business.
Fucking love Kathy.
That's fucking great. That's great. I remember I snuck my sister and we went on a cruise. Like, we had this like weird family reunion thing. Like, I was like still, I think I must have been like a freshman. I was in, no, whatever. I was in high school. I don't know how old I was, but I was in high school. And there was like a, on the boat, there was like they had like a teen night,
like
club,
a teen night, yeah,
club thing, you know. And my sister was too young to get in. Mm-hmm. So, and we were like 16 or 17 or whatever.
So Aaron's like 6.
So yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And we brought her to teen night, and we told the guy, I was like, oh, she's like a little person. And my sister's like, yeah, I'm 15. And we like go in, and we're like dancing. There wasn't even that many people there because it's like a shitty cruise, but it was just like, she just went with it. Just smooth sailing. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That is so funny. Just a 6-year-old while a bunch of 15 and 16-year-olds are bumping and grinding.
Yeah. Yo, that trip was wild. I feel like I keep throwing Sean on the bus every other episode. There was this one time on the cruise.
We love Sean on this podcast.
Yeah.
Hell no.
This one time on the
Sean
cruise.
is fierce.
I'm like, have you ever been on a cruise?
Hell no.
Okay, it's a
I've
giant
seen the
mall.
Titanic.
Yeah. It's not a thing we normally do. It was like this weird thing. So there's like whole like our extended families on this trip and shit. My grandmother like put it together, like whatever. So I'm like walking around the boat, bored, listening to my music, my like Walkman and shit. I fucking come around the back of the boat and I see my brother and my cousin taking full like deck furniture and tipping it over off the back of the fucking boat and throwing it into the middle of the ocean. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, it's fun. So like I helped them. We were like throwing Ashlynn. We're not talking about just like a chair. Like the whole like the one where you lay down and like and put the thing.
Like just, the launch chairs.
Like the type that you like tan on. Just I chucked like 1 or 2 off. I was like, guys, we should stop.
What do you think the crew said the next morning?
They probably didn't even know. These boats are so big. They and like you got to remember, like we're on this deck where like the entire deck is just lined with these fucking chairs. It's unlimited ammo. Like, yeah.
But you think like anybody like a Coast Guard or something was like, we've got lawn chairs in the ocean right now.
I think they sank. Like, they just started like you'd see them float for a minute and then they kind of just went away. And like also remember like the back of the boat is like has this huge churning water coming out of it.
Yeah, so it's probably getting fucked up.
It just got all sucked up down into there, you know.
Someone's gonna think that's like a boat that like capsized or something like that. Oh, the treasure from it's just you, Sean, and your cousin being
my cousin Derek
menace. Carnival's gonna sue you. I don't even know if it's Carnival. Yeah. I'll never go on a cruise.
You shouldn't.
I don't like them. I want to be on a yacht, but I don't want to be on a cruise.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have class.
Absolutely. I one time was watching Succession. Have you seen Succession?
Love it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say no because you said love it.
Yeah. Fuck you. Love that show.
Your face said no.
But my voice said yes.
Yeah. So I was gonna be like, you should watch it. I think you would like it. And then it was just
no.
Yeah. So remember when they're on the yacht? Remember when he has spoiler if you watch the section. Also spoiler, go fuck yourself.
Right.
So remember that time where he's got to make the decision of who he's gonna let sink, like which one of his kids he's gonna give up because they tell him on the phone it's either you or a kid.
Yeah.
You know. Remember how he got them on the nice ass yacht? So I turned to Kay. I'm watching them. I turned to Kay. I'm like, we should buy a yacht. And she goes, and she's like, you'll never afford a yacht. And I was like, what are you talking about? Yes, I can. If I'm in a couple of movies, I can. Right? So I go look up the prices of these yachts. They're like fucking $300 million.
Ashlynn, that's not even including the cost of. Some of them cost like $1 million, like $500,000 just to fill up with gas. And a lot of them, it's not like you just buy that's the cost of the boat. That doesn't include the crew that you need to run the boat.
Right. I'm like the nice food you get and the wine and the upkeep, all of it.
Yeah. All of it.
Because some of them have pools inside too.
Some of them have helicopter pads on them.
That's what they had, a helicopter pad. When I saw when I saw the pool, I was like, I'm into this. I saw the helicopter pad. I said, we need one.
Do you ever see some of them have like the jet ski thing, like a jet ski dock where you like bring it up?
Yes.
Yeah. You know what might be more in your price?
Don't tell me what would be more in my price range. I'm going for a yacht. Fuck you, fuck Kate. When I'm on my yacht, y'all not invited.
I didn't doubt that you can't get a yacht. I'm just saying.
What are you telling me to downgrade to?
Well, did you ever watch? I watched this show where they were breaking down did you ever see like what a lake boat?
Like a lake house?
No, like boats.
A boathouse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you ever see those fucking things?
Yes.
And the bottoms of the boat are flat. Like it's not like a yacht where it's got to have that. Yo, those things are wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm more of like an ocean guy, but hey, you know what? I'll go halvesies on a fucking boathouse and get on a sweet ass lake.
I didn't know they exist until I started dating Kate, and I was like, oh, this is a boat. I forgot why. I think I said like something. I think I was like, oh, we should go to a lake house. I think I was like, oh, we should go to a lake house. And I think I said boathouse instead. And I think she was like, but boathouse instead. Like, we should go to a boathouse. And I was like, boathouses exist? And she was like, yeah, they do. And then I like, because you know me, I fuck up words all the time.
Yeah,
so
right.
Instead of lake house, I said boathouse.
Right.
And then she was like, yeah. And I looked them up. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, you know where they're crazy popular? Like, you know how like on the East Coast near us, it's like, yeah, for prom or spring break, we're like renting a house down the shore.
Yeah.
In like Nevada and like those like areas, young people will rent one of these boathouses. Do you ever see like spring breaks and they're all anchored up and everyone's just partying on a fucking lake?
I've never seen that.
Yo, it looks so fucking fun. I tried to convince my friends to do that one year and they were like not having it. But like, and these people, so you're just, and then like, you meet somebody, you just swim over to their fucking boathouse and everyone's fucking partying. And then there's like usually a section with like one of those swings on a rock and just everyone's just raging out on a lake all night.
That sounds like a good time.
It sounds like a great fucking time. Yeah.
I could just see it being a little bit dirty.
Oh, extremely dirty and probably wouldn't like most of the people there. Yeah. But it's an experience, you know?
That'd be cool.
I would totally fucking do something like that. I've always been into like, even at, like when I was really young, I remember I used to tell for a while, I would tell Carol, I was like, I want to be a truck driver. And she was like, I was like, why not? I get to like get paid money and travel around and see different things. She's like, okay, we'll see. Like,
but now that you're a stand-up, she's like, what about the truck driving job?
Right. When are you getting paid and getting on the road? Yeah.
When's the truck driving job coming? Now she's pushing for the truck driver.
Yeah. Anything but stand-up.
Right.
But I've always been attracted to the idea of like, oh, this is the thing I travel and live in. Like, it's like, I don't know why.
Well, you like that about, you always say that about the tour bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you're always like, oh, I want to just be a comic on a tour bus. And I don't relate to that always. I would like to do it, but like I don't know if that's a life I want, and that's like a life you want.
I don't mean like 24/7. My home address is the bus, but like
home address, the bus.
Yeah.
DA bus.
It's got like the huge decals of like my face on the side of it and shit.
But in cartoon, and it's like different like nationalities.
Yeah.
It's all the accents you do.
Yeah. It's all, but you can't tell from the decals.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to live on it, but like to be like, all right, we're going to do the next month or two on the road and primarily be staying in the bus. And I'd assume when you do something like that, like obviously a lot of times it's like, okay, yeah, we're going to park this thing at like a camp's place or a place where you could hook it up. But then there's also times where like, let's fucking leave this thing with the driver somewhere and let's go stay in a hotel.
Yeah.
For a few nights and get like a real bed, because that's like, I don't know if you've ever done like long road trips, but sometimes it's like, let's like not sleep in the car, let's not camp, let's just get a fucking hotel room
for a Florida trip.
Okay.
Like my aunt took me, and when I was like 13, and that's what we did. Like we made pit stops and stayed at hotels for a night.
Yeah.
And then kept it pushing.
Yeah. So but there's just something about like, I got everything I need on this fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I could go anywhere and do anything I want right now.
But you love that.
I fucking love it.
Yeah. I like more like private jets.
Don't get me wrong, I like that too, but
again, something not in my price range.
listen, All you got to do is get to, what's his fucking name with the tequila? You got to get to...
Kevin Hart?
Well, Kevin Hart, but what's his
George
name?
Clooney?
No, the comedian.
Oh, you keep saying with the tequila, Kevin Hart has a tequila coming out, and George Clooney owns Casamigos. So that's why I'm saying
Oh,
them.
right. I didn't know what's his name had tequila. I know Clooney did. I didn't know that
Kevin Hart, yeah.
Kevin Hart did.
I think it's like coming out soon.
Oh, okay. I can't think of the name of the guy. He's like one of the blue collar comedy guys. He's the one who smokes cigars all the fucking time. Anyway, when I think of I can't think of his name. I don't want to waste time trying to do it. But he owns his own private jet. He owns his own private jet.
It's gonna be me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You just got to get to his status, and
then I'll be good.
Yeah, someone watching this is like saying his name right now, and they're like, "You idiot."
John Travolta has his own jet, and he could.
And he flies. Yeah, he's a pilot.
Yeah.
That's a fucking lifestyle. A pilot, like the same way how like a professional gambler, like money, like sort of loses
its value.
It has a weird. They must have a weird relationship with money. I feel like that with pilots, with like time and space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're a pilot. If you do a 12-hour day, you could be in a different time zone, a different country. If you do a few trips.
Well, even flight attendants, that's how they live. You know what I mean? And they're even, because they don't need to, not that they don't need to do anything. I don't mean it like that. But like a pilot got to, fly the plane.
Right.
A flight attendant's like a bartender on a plane.
Yes.
So like, yeah, your job is hard. And I mean, it's even getting harder now with all these fucking crazy people on the plane. But you're there to entertain more, make make sure shit is going right. People are sitting in there, and then you're entertaining, and then you're off, and then you're like in Miami one day, and then you're like, yeah, they live a fucking wild life. So I agree. Like
the only
thing that matters to them has to be right now.
Yes.
Yeah, like they live probably in the right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when you're off, you have all these frequent flyer miles that you racked up and benefits from working at the airlines that you could pretty much go wherever you want for next to nothing. Oh, the only other chicks that are crazier than nurses who I've met are flight attendants. Yo, they're wild, yo.
How interesting, right? That like they probably both live in the right now because of what they do.
Right.
Right? Like nurses see death all the time, and people being sick and stuck in their beds, and they see how it goes down, you know? And then flight attendants are like, I have no stability. I can't have a home. Like I can't have any commitment to anything because I'm everywhere, Right. So they both live a life of like right now. So that makes sense.
And they're seeing people at their worst.
Yeah.
They're seeing people at their fucking worst.
Yeah.
Even if you're doing all right inside of an airplane personally, like you're not having a bad day, you're still not in an optimal position. You're like in like a box on the sky. You're eating you have to like eat a meal like that's coming out of a fucking container.
Definitely the most uncomfortable. But like if you got a family that's like happy to travel, it's kind of like seeing a family give birth. You know what I mean? Like you have some joy in both of them, but that's few and far and few.
Yeah. I can't not ever shake the fantasy of wanting a stewardess. What are they? Is that the proper word for them? I don't think they're called stewardess anymore. Whatever. Air travel helpers. Whatever the fuck they're called.
What are you talking about?
Stewardesses. I think they're not. I think like there's like PC culture around stewardesses. Like they're not called stewardess. They're flight attendants. I'm a flight attendant now.
Isn't that what I've been calling them?
Flight attendant?
Yeah.
I forgot what you were saying, and then I started calling. I was correcting myself for calling them stewardesses.
I thought they were two different things.
Right.
I knew. I was like, wait, what? Why? Because I'm like, if it's not flight, he would be calling it flight attendant because I just said it 16 times.
Yeah, I forgot you were calling it flight
attendant.
attendant.
Something different. But you can't shake the what?
I can't shake the wanting like. I'm like one day a hot one's gonna just be like.
Like on the plane, though?
Either on the plane or, like, land in the city and be like, I'm here for 2 nights. I, like, want that so bad. I don't know why. I know it's never going to happen.
It's not. It's because it's so cliche.
It's so cliche.
It's so cliche, but it's also, like, it never happens. So you're like, why is it so cliche if it never happens?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird. It's like in the movies, it's, like, always happening. Like, they're always hooking up.
Yeah.
But like in real life, it's not like that.
Well, do you ever like read about like back in the day, like when there was like TWA was a airline? Like, did you ever like hear about like how the airlines used to be before they are the way they are now?
I mean, I watched Jackie Brown.
Okay, so there's a little bit. This is even before that time. So like when airlines first came out, like tickets were so expensive. Like it was not something for like common people. It was like upper class. You had to be able to afford it, and the flights, they didn't lie or change anything. It was like you need to be a certain height, a certain weight, and be hot. And you're not called a flight attendant. You're a stewardess, and you're basically like a borderline, like a Hooters server.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And
yeah,
like
of
they'd
course.
had to be like hot.
Yeah,
and
it was like the Rockettes.
Yeah, kind of. yeah. And you'd be on these flights, and people are drinking and smoking, and it's like a. I've never watched I haven't watched the show Mad Men. I've seen like a couple of episodes, but I'm sure they show that on that show where like they're just on the plane and then like the flight attendants are like flirting with you and like all this shit. But then over the time, it's just like regular people need to use planes too, and we'll let the gays do it, and we can't tell you have to be a certain height and weight.
Yeah.
Like, and we're gonna stop calling you stewardesses. We're gonna call you flight attendant.
Yeah. Because isn't that stewardesses is like female?
Yeah.
And now it's like male and female, and then now also like with the gender roles and stuff like that. So I think it's like flight attendant.
Right.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I am not in good shape, but I do like when someone in good shape is near me.
Right. It bothers me when I have a tubby flight attendant, guy or girl. Because I'm like, come on. Really? Like you're taking up more space than the cart you're pushing down the aisle right now. Like your weight, your hip shouldn't be brushing up against my head if I'm sitting in the aisle. That's a problem.
Like this isn't a place for that.
Right. Like I'm all for equal jobs and stuff, but like if you want to be like that, like then be a pilot or something and sit up front.
And I'll tell you this too. I'm even like that with trainers, right? There are some trainers who are all like buff, ugly ass legs, skinny ass legs, and just have like fat over muscles and muscles over fat. And, like there's just no definition into their fucking body. It looks disgusting. And they want to be like they're a trainer.
All I want to do is karate sweeps when I see them. Every time I see people like that, I'm like, let's fight. I want to and I'm going right for the legs.
But how are you a fucking trainer? How does anyone walk into a gym and go, you know what my body should look like, when that's what their body looks like?
What gym is this?
I've seen like New York Sports Club. I've seen Planet Fitness. Like I've seen.
But see, but maybe they're in enough shape for those types of gyms rather than like those trainers aren't going to be big on Instagram because they're not like, they're good trainers for someone who like has never picked up a weight before.
I get that, but I don't even understand how someone who's never picked up a weight before can look at your body and go, yep, you get it. I get that I'm not talking about like Equinox and like the most pristine.
Right.
Like like the highest of gyms.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know how anyone can just go in there and go, like, I mean, the only trainer I've ever had was Adam Shuddy, and he used to work in, I don't know if he still has his gym, but on Lexington and 55th, and his body was lean machine. Like, he wasn't big, nothing about him was jacked, but he was all defined. He had abs, he had arms, but none of it was fucking crazy. His legs were nice, not crazy. His body just looked nice. I can't have a trainer and your body not look nice.
Right.
I don't care. Do I know, am I like a wizard of fucking weights? No. But I know what a body should look like. And that's not it.
You know what my favorite people at the gym are? Is it's usually, from my experience, it's, and maybe just because of living in where I live in the city, but it's like you'll be like, you see all those guys that you're talking about, and you see the whole spectrum, and then there's like the one or two that are like exceptionally in shape, like crazy, like you just described, like not jacked but ripped.
Yeah.
You know, their legs are proportionate.
Have you started seeing that thing where like people are like too ripped? Like,
well, these guys might be too ripped because like I could see abs through their Under Armour, and like, but their legs are proportionate to their body.
Right.
And like you see them and they're doing like workouts that no one else is doing. They're doing like mad, like they're hanging from the bars for a long time, doing a lot of body weight, and that's just their warm up shit. It's the only person in the gym where I'm like, damn, like I'm never gonna be that, you know?
Yeah.
But then you I've one time found out and then heard one of them. I saw this one guy. He always came in. This black dude. He always came in. He was fucking ripped, and he definitely had the respect of the gym. And then one time I saw him like bump into a friend, and he was like, "Hey, bitch, get over here, you! I haven't seen you in so long." And I'm like, "This is like a theater dude. This is like some," and I'm like. But when you see them and they don't talk, it's like, what the fuck? You're like a Terminator. And then they're like, hey. Every single fucking time.
Because you know what? Nobody cares about their fucking body like a gay man.
No, never.
They treat that shit so good. They treat that shit so good sometimes. Yeah. I love that, though. I love when you think you're going to hear something, like a voice. Like someone has a certain voice and then they turn around, you know? Like you were probably like, this dude is probably like, fuck yeah, I'm getting it. Like his inner monologue, like, fuck yeah, you see I'm fucking strong. And then when he opens his mouth, he's like, fuck yeah, like this is fucking fierce.
Hey, bitch. Yeah. I thought this dude was going to be like an athlete and have that kind of like where he could like, he had a good like white guy voice, but then he could do, but like just the way he was like put together and like how it was all in my head. And then just to hear like, hey, bitch, you slut. Like, just, and I was like, wait, what? Oh, man. I should start doing that to people. I should start, like if I'm around someone that I notice that I'm around this person a lot, but then they have never, like, actually heard me open my mouth. And just one day I should be like, excuse me, may I use these weights when you're done? Like, just, like, throw, like, just, like, really freak them out.
Like, give them something they weren't thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. They wouldn't see that from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you came in with that, they wouldn't see that shit.
Did you ever have, like, a moment with someone at the gym that you didn't know?
No.
It's like, okay, so this happened to me recently. This guy, there's, like, this area at my gym where it's, like, AstroTurf. So it's, like, and there's, like, all kettlebells and shit over there. It's more, like, it's not, like, weights. It's, like, a different kind of area. So, and over there's, like, this, like, thing where there's like bars, there's a punching bag and you can hang from the bars and do pull-ups and there's bungee cords, all this shit. So that's where I do all my kettlebell shit. And there's this other dude, this like big fucking ripped black dude, like sitting there with dreads, and he's like waiting. Like I realized he was like waiting for his buddy who was a trainer, and they were going to do boxing shit in there. And like, you know, I gave him like a hello because I'm just like working out near him, and he's just chilling. And this little like tiny white dude comes in, and he looked like he just did like a bunch of coke, and he's got like a wife beater on, and like sweatpants and Nikes. He's just like wiry, and he just comes in and he jumps on the bars, and he does these like monkey bar like walk like sprinting across these things, gets down, like gets to the punching bag and does this like combo where he's like bah, 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 bah. And it's like, but like, you know, his hands are down. He's got no form.
It's all bad. It's
and he's
sloppy.
just, and he's like hyper, and he's like, whoof, whoof.
Those punches
like,
aren't even landing.
They're not landing. They're just sloppy hooks, and just, it's all over the place.
He's going to hurt himself soon.
Yeah, and he like jumps up and does like some more push-ups, and the bag is like swinging. Like the bag, like is swinging, and like, and then there's like some other people working out there, but it's like he's moving so fast and making so much noise that it's like, how do you not notice this? And I'm like, just finished doing my thing, and the guy like, he's in and out, Ashlynn, I'm telling you, in like a minute and 30 seconds he does all this.
Of course.
It's like just nuts, and then just like speeds away to go do something else. And I'm sitting there, and I just finished doing these leg press things, and I turn and I look at the guy, and he's already looking at me, and we just both start dying. We're like, who the fuck is this fucking guy? Like, what the fuck was that? And he's just like, my man's took too much pre-workout. And I started dying. I was like, I think he did more than too much pre-workout. And I was like, did that?
Yeah.
And he started fucking dying. Now I see that guy around at the gym sometimes.
That is so fucking wild. You guys are like, what? Was that? Are we wrong? Like,
what did we just miss?
Yeah, did we witness something together?
Yeah. Yeah, it was so fun. I love moments like that where you bond with somebody that you never normally would have like that weirdo united me and that guy.
Right, and just by looking at each other, like
yeah.
The fact that you both had the same thought. Like, we're like, okay, we're kind of the same people.
Yeah, this dude looked like Lennox Lewis, the boxer. Like, huge dreads. Like, this guy could have punched my head into my torso. But we're just both like, this dude's crazy, right?
Yeah. This is the crazy one.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I feel like living in New York, you've probably had so many moments like that they don't even register with you.
Yeah, like just looking at someone and being like, yo, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just like so bothered by him.
By the little wiry guy? I've seen him in there more than once.
Does he do the same thing?
Yes. Yeah. I don't know if it's his warm-up or what he does, what that is, but he's done it more than once. And every time I'm like, what is it? I've tried to film him.
Those type of guys, too, they do the most everywhere. They go to a bar, and they're the ones that be like, what's your most expensive stuff? Oh, okay. And you got a special? Okay, let me get the special. So why'd you ask about the most expensive stuff? Like, they do the most. They go everywhere and just do the most.
Yeah.
No matter where they are.
Yeah.
When they're at dinner and there's like a lot of people, they talk loud and they do a lot of, like, those people do the most.
Oh, he makes audible sounds every time he lifts something.
I know
him. I heard him, like, I saw him like somewhere else using a machine, like a weightlifting machine, but not like using it in a way that's like not even it's supposed to be used. And he's like making like, huh, like using this machine. And everyone can hear him. I'm like, what is going on with this fucking guy? So bizarre. Like, I kind of want to follow him home, like, just to see, like, what his deal is. People like that fascinate me.
I kind of want to follow him home and then marry him and then...
I want to get his routine.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. He's not in shape. You know what I'm saying?
Is he just thin?
He's like a thin dude. Like,
but he's just got a fast metabolism. Probably all the coke and the pre-workout. Yeah. It's probably what it is that keeps him thin. Because I know dudes like that who don't work out at all and thin as fuck. Yeah.
Don't they piss you off?
Yeah, me out of all people. Yes, they do piss me off. Especially like, I mean, you work out a lot, but I was going to say you eat disgustingly and it doesn't affect you the way it affects me. But you do work out. Like, you
to offset it, yeah.
Yeah, you do go for a run. So I can't use you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As an example, but I know some dudes who don't work out and they're like, I have to force myself to eat.
It's fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit, dude. I also sometimes feel like some people say that shit when they're like out.
Yeah.
But then like in reality, like they're not.
No, I know these dudes.
Oh, you know
them?
You know
them. They're like my brother's friends.
Oh,
and they're fucking thin. And I know that they eat bad. Like, I know that they do. And I know, like, this guy Mike, because he's gotten a little bit big and he's skinny. And I was like, Mike, you working out? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you gotta eat a lot, right? Because he's thin. Like, he's just one of those thin boys. He's like, yeah. He's like, yo, sometimes I have to force myself to eat. I'm like, come hang out with me, Chris, and Kate.
Yeah. I'll get you eating, bro.
Yeah, we'll eat 20 wings.
Yeah.
In one sitting. And then candy.
Right.
Yeah. You have a would you rather?
No, but I can come up with one.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's see what you got.
Would you rather?
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather for the rest of your life only to be able to eat one candy when you watch movies or TV or anything like that when you're like in candy movie mode? Yeah, and you can pick whatever candy it is, but you only get one.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can have all of the candies you want, but you only get 2 little bites or pieces of it because Kate ate the rest before it came to you. So you can only eat like the scraps of what's left of the candies. So means
of all the candy I want.
Of all the variety of candy. So like if you go to the movies and whatever, you get like M&Ms and you guys bought 1 bag of M&Ms and Kate ate like most of them and then there's 2 left, you only get those 2. You can't be like, Kate, I need you to eat another bag of M&Ms. You only get what was left in the bag. But you can have all like the variety is there.
I could buy candies. I just get like 2.
Right.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Variety
Only 1
of candies.
I'm okay with eating the scraps. As long as it's a variety.
Variety?
Variety.
The new pill, Variety. That sounds like
you act like you don't say fucked up words.
I know. I'm not saying I don't.
You were like Rudolph Judensberg Ginsburg.
What was I calling her? Rudy Girth Ginsburg or something.
And whenever we correct Chris, he'll be like, yeah, whatever. Like, you never roast yourself the way you want to roast everybody else. When we're like, it's this, you're like, yeah, whatever. You get so embarrassed. You don't like to roast yourself. It's all right. I'm smarter than you anyways. Everybody knows it.
I don't need to. Well, that's true. I don't, and I don't need to roast myself because I got you.
And Kate.
Yeah, we had.
You didn't hear when Kate was like, when she came out, she was like, it's actually Ruth Giddens, whatever.
And we still can't say it right.
And you were like, yeah, whatever. She was like, we're going to make fun of you too. But you didn't catch that because you were like moving on.
Right.
She was like, we're going to make fun of you too. Chris doesn't like when we make fun of him.
Ruth Tater Ginsburg.
Totters.
The potato lady.
Tater tot lady.
Yeah.
She created tater tots.
She did.
Yeah.
Little known fact. RGB. I mean, RTB.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Good night.
Bye.